Hello, everyone, and welcome to a massive new episode of Hartwigs Tech World. Bianca, I've got to tell you, this week felt like a decade of technological advancement packed into just 7 days. February 19th, 2026 is a date we'll remember for a long time.
Hi, Hartwig. I could tell by the amount of coffee you were drinking that something big was happening. Today, we're covering everything from the phone in your pocket to satellites and deep space. Where we start? I bet you want to talk about Apple, right?
You bet. Apple finally did it. Without an event, just a press release, they introduced the iPhone 17e. But the E is special this time. The real star is the C1X modem. This is Apple's first ever in-house 5G chip. They've finally broken up with Qualcomm for good.
That's a huge technical milestone, but what does it mean for the average user? Is it just about Apple's pride, or will we actually see better performance?
We will see a massive difference. An in-house modem means Apple can tune the chip perfectly to work with the A19 processor. We're talking about significantly less heat and way better battery efficiency. The iPhone 17e will likely have battery life we could only dream of before. And at $599, it's a direct attack on the mid-range market from Samsung and Google.
Speaking of Google, they haven't been sitting idly by. They just dropped Gemini 3.1. You've been testing it, Hartwig. How does the conversation feel now?
It's uncanny, Bianca. Truly uncanny. The latency is practically zero. When I talk to Gemini 3.1, that typical AI thinking pause is gone. It feels like talking to a real human. And the new video analysis is mind-blowing. You can give the AI a link to a massive video archive, and it understands the context of scenes that only last for a fraction of a second. This is going to change how we search for information forever, especially since it's being integrated into the new Android 17 Beta 2.
That's a big deal. Android 17 Beta 2, codenamed Cinnamon Bun. I heard there's also some great news for video streaming and data savings.
Exactly. Native support for the VVC codec, or H.266, is now here. This is the holy grail for video fans. We can stream 4K content using only half the data compared to the old standard. It's going to take a huge load off mobile networks. But, Bianca, we also have to talk about the darker side of the week. If you're planning to upgrade your PC, you're going to need a bigger budget.
You mean the global memory crisis. I saw the numbers and thought it was a typo. A 246% price hike for some SSD models? How is that even possible?
It's a bitter reality. The AI boom is a double-edged sword. To run models like Gemini 3.1, data centers need massive amounts of high-end storage. Manufacturers like Samsung and Micron have shifted almost their entire production to these enterprise solutions. There's barely anything left for us consumers. We're seeing a massive price surge for NVMe SSDs and RAM.
But Hartwig, I thought we could at least rely on traditional hard drives if SSDs got too expensive. HDDs were always the safe harbor for budget storage, weren't they?
That's the new shock of the week, Bianca. The HDD crisis has now reached the good old spinning platters. HDD prices are starting to climb sharply. Why? Because the AI giants don't just need fast flash storage for computations, they also need massive archives for their training data. Anything with 18 terabytes or more is being sucked out of the market. As SSDs become unaffordable, everyone is pivoting to HDDs, driving up prices there too. The cheap storage era is officially over as of February 2026. My advice, if you see a drive at an old price, don't hesitate. Grab it.
That's a tough blow for anyone looking to upgrade their home NAS or back up their photos. But let's get back to something positive. We talked about Frankfurt and Auracast last week. There are some real-world reports coming in now, right?
Yes, and they are incredibly positive. I've read reports from travelers who, like me, use hearing aids. They say for the first time in their lives, they could sit at the gate and relax without constantly checking the boards because they couldn't understand the muffled announcements. The tech streams the info crystal clear directly into their ears. And the best part? Orlando in the US has announced they're copying the system immediately. This is becoming a global standard for accessibility.
That's fantastic. And Deutsche Telekom is making sure we can use this tech everywhere, even in the middle of nowhere.
Right. The multi-orbit IoT roaming. Telekom is now connecting cell towers with satellites in different orbits. If the tower fails, the satellite takes over automatically. It's the final victory over the dead zone. For us, it means every smartphone will eventually have an always connected guarantee. Whether you're in a deep forest or out at sea, you're connected.
What an episode, Hartwig. From Apple's new chip to Google's super AI and the total storage crisis to space-based internet. I think we've set a new record for length today.
We definitely did. And before we go, we need our quote of the week. Bianca, do you have it?
I do. It fits perfectly with everything we discussed. Tech is getting more expensive, but knowledge remains the best investment. Use the AI, but keep using your own head.
A perfect ending. Stay curious, watch your wallets, and we'll be back next Saturday. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.